Well, the name of the album is Today. We decided to call it Today simply because most people live either in the future or they live in the past.
Dealing with the regrets or the decisions they made in the past, but so rarely do we find ourselves thinking about now.
I know I spend a lot of my time in the future thinking about where I'm going to be and or where I want to be.
And the theme that we've had is, you know, what are you doing? How are you making the most of your life?
And we thought, man, what a great way to bridge the gap between our last record, which is One Life.
It just kind of takes One Life and focuses into right now.
Bridging the gap between the two albums and really focus on today, because that's something personally that I need to do.
My favorite part about doing music would be, well, it's just the guitar. I just love it. That little mysterious 6-string thing is like, it feels like a piece of me, and I absolutely adore doing that.
My favorite part about playing out live is the table afterwards. Getting to hear those stories that helped me so much, you know. Well, I think that when we set out to record the album, there was no like intent or choosing songs. There was no intent on finding a certain theme. I think our main goal is just to get the best songs that we can get that encourage people to do what we've always tried to encourage them to do, which is to live for Christ, you know, every single day. And hopefully these songs on the album, when we look at it as a whole, and it always tends to happen this way in hindsight when you look back, because we don't, like I said, we didn't plan going into it to have a certain theme, but when hindsight you look back and you can see how God is orchestrating all these different things into play.
And at the end of the day, you know, we end up with 10 songs that really, we feel like help support the theme of making the most of the here and now. A year ago, right before we got word that we were going to do the album, I moved up to Nashville. My wife and I did.
It was a crazy time in my life. I'm going to be honest and just say, put it out there. I mean, we had a baby right in the middle of it, right in the heart of songwriting. So I have people, you know, from my 33 camp going, you need to be writing songs. I've got a wife who's like, you know, I need your help with this baby. And our other 2 kids need you as well. So I felt like it was like a tug of war, you know, between career and family, back and forth through that whole process, which made it difficult for me to really, I was exhausted from doing both. So to really wrap my head around what is God saying to me? What does He want to communicate through me for this album? And but I think the end product is awesome, and I look back on it and I'm thankful for that time. And the road's been hard this last year, so I've been struggling a lot, you know, and it doesn't mean that I'm less passionate about what I do. I've been having an internal fight, you know, back and forth of, you know, my calling and what I love, but I'm also called for my family as well.
You know, it's not like we're going home at the end of the night and you know, getting to sit down and have dinner, you know, with your kids and you know, talk about the day with your wife.
You know, why leave my family, you know, if I'm not making a difference? If people's lives aren't being touched, if people aren't, you know, seeing Jesus, you know, and finding Him and being encouraged in their walk, then why am I doing what I'm doing?
It's just hard sometimes, like, to have that relationship like that. You know, it can be confusing sometimes because you feel like you live in 2 different lives.
And I've seen my family, you know, change in it. I've seen my 6-year-old start to get to a place where he is, you know, he's okay with Daddy leaving. And he's given my wife grace to walk through, you know, having 3 kids, you know, 24/7 for 4 or 5 days out of the week, you know. And so I've just seen Him, you know, grant us grace along the way and give me stories of people whose lives have been changed.
I just want people to know Christ, you know. I just want people to fall in love with Him. You know, very rarely do we get, just as Christians, the platform that God has given me, and I just don't want to waste it for Him.
I think the thing I want people to take away the most is just encouragement.
The bottom line, the factor of life that, you know, that matters most is Jesus Christ, period.
I think more than any album of ours, there is so much heart and so much passion on this record. even to the point where like I get overwhelmed with it, just listening to it, sometimes listening to it play back and singing the songs live that we've started to do, and like it moves me. If I really look at today, you know, and where God has me today, I'm in an awesome place, you know? I'm able to do the thing that I love the most, the thing that I feel like I was born to do, created to do. I get to do that, and I have a wife that loves me, and I have 3 beautiful boys, and I have friends and family that care about me, you know? I have everything that I need. I have a God that loves me, and that's all I need for today.
That's where I wanna go.